Campbellford, Ontario. Where is it? What's going on there? Well, today we're going to chat a little bit more about that, get some more details, and if you're one of the ones that's thinking about potentially moving there, definitely stick around to the end because that's the part that's going to matter the most. Before we get into it, I just wanted to say a quick hello. My name is Jeremy Tremblay. I'm a realtor that works here in the Belleville Quinte West area and the surrounding areas. If you have any questions after this video, definitely reach out. My information is going to be down below in the description. I'd love to get an email from you, a phone call, or a text. We can talk a little bit more about your potential move to this area, or if you're thinking about selling as well. Let's get to the video. Campbellford, Ontario. So as I mentioned at the beginning, you may have heard about this one before, but not know much about it. So if you've been up towards Peterborough or Highway 401 and you've seen the signs towards Campbellford and you're wondering a little bit more about it in the area, potentially thinking about moving there and you want some more info, it's located, I'd say about 45 minutes to the east of Peterborough. And if you're looking at Brighton, Ontario, which is right along Highway 401, it's about half an hour straight north. That's where you're going to find Campbellford. Now, you're going to hear a few different references. So the whole county is Northumberland County, but then within that is Trent Hills. Trent Hills actually is made up of a few smaller communities, one of which is Campbellford. They amalgamated back in the early 2000s to create Trent Hills. So legally, you'll see that referenced a lot. But Campbellford is what you're going to hear people use for referencing the town and that community specifically. It has a lot going on with it in terms of where it's at specifically because it has the Trent Severn waterway. So if you watch that, it's that connects all the way down. It goes right into Trenton, Ontario. It has different locks systems, but you can take your boat all the way through that. And that's a very integral part of Campbellford because the town is centered around that system directly. So the next thing we'll explore is what is happening in Campbellford. Well, what's there, essentially, if you've never been to this city? First off, population of Campbellford is around 5,000 people. So it's not very large. So for many people, they think there won't be much there to offer, especially if you have families that are coming to the area. But you might be surprised that they actually do have a number of schools available directly within Campbellford, both elementary and high schools. And within those school systems, they have French programs available as well. And so really nice schools right in town, easily accessible, and they draw from a larger rural area into that town, which leads to the next thing, which is the local hospital. So the Campbellford Memorial Hospital is the largest employer in Campbellford, and it draws from a large area. I mentioned Peterborough. Well, that's 45 minutes to the west. They have their own hospital, but all the other areas around Campbellford, a lot of farmers and farm fields and different little communities. Well, they need to be able to come to one place, and Campbellford is that one place that has the hospital. One thing that's going to be happening, actually, there was an announcement that Campbellford is going to be getting a new hospital. So they already have a site that has been set aside for it. The province came along, dug forward and such, and made the announcement that they are going to be investing in a new hospital. There is fundraising underway now to continue working towards that goal. But it just shows that Campbellford is servicing a large area. So not only is it the largest employer, but it's servicing all the growth that's happening in kind of those cottage areas around it. Campbellford Hospital is going to be where they come to. So that covers the schooling, the hospitals, but what else is happening in Campbellford specifically? Well, a lot of it is going to be based, as I mentioned earlier, around that canal. When you come into Campbellford, the first thing actually that you're going to see is a really large toonie. And many people don't know about this, but when you go in, it's a great spot. People pull over, get a photo. It's a toonie that stands roughly 27 feet high. And so very large. And it does bring about a lot of questions, but the artist that actually did some of the work on the one side of the coin was in charge and part of that project to have that toonie put up. And so the Mint actually recognized that, and many people will reference Campbellford as the home of the $2 coin. And so that's a great spot, tourism attraction. People come through. You can get a photo with a massive toonie, but right there is the canal. And there are bridges going over that canal. And so a lot of the festivals that happen throughout all the summer months, the population goes up because of all the tourism that is attracted because of that canal and everything that happens in town. Some examples of what's happened there: you've got the Seymour fair that goes on every single year, and they put on a fair in town that everyone's a part of. It's a tradition that's been happening. Also, they have what's called the Incredible Edible Festival, and this happens on the second Saturday of July every single year, and they have about roughly 50 vendors that come out and all kinds of different food options. There's a little band shell where they have music that gets played on the other side of the river. It's just a really lively atmosphere where everyone in town comes out. A lot of tourists come from outside the area to visit during that time as well. So that's right within the town, like directly within the town. One thing to note as you're getting in town there's a donut shop. Now, usually would be considered a small thing. Why would I mention that? But Dewar's Bakery, Dewar's Donuts, as many will call it, is well known actually. There is a competition that has gone on many years where they vote for the top donuts and sweetest place in Canada. Dewar's won it 2 years running. And so that's where you're going to see a lot of people that not only within Trent Hills, down in Trenton, Belleville, all these areas are going to say, hey, if you're going through Campbellford, you got to stop at Dewar's Donuts. And so I would also recommend, I've tried them. They are fantastic. You're going to want to check those out. And then from there, another area that draws a lot of people is the suspension bridge. And so when you're coming along that canal system, there is a large suspension bridge that basically goes from the one side to, and it connects you to a provincial park, specifically the Ferris Provincial Park on the other side. It's a 300-foot suspension bridge that hangs over the water. It's a great day to go and visit. The kids love it. And then there's groomed trails in that provincial park. So all summer, if you want to go in there and just travel those trails, it's open year round as well. So you can take your bike and travel around there during the winter as well if you'd like to. And so that's a big attraction that is drawing people. You put all these together and you recognize it's a spot where people are driving through and they can just stop and enjoy these different attractions in town. And it has that really nice community feel. And you're always right near the water as you're going through this town. And so that's the feel that you're getting. A lot of tourism, but now you're starting to see people that say, I want to retire here for that very reason. Finally, and the one question that I get asked most often, because I'm a realtor, is the home situation. Who's living there? Who's moving there? What are the home prices like? And so, as I mentioned, a lot of people are going to this area to retire because they love the tourism aspect. But as I mentioned, there are the schools. So there are a lot of families actually that are in this area as well, and all the rural communities around that are taking in what the city has to offer. And so with respect to housing, there's quite a variety that is available. For those that are newer into the market or looking something a little bit more affordable, generally you can get into the 400,000 range will get you into a detached home in town. And Campbellford, because it is a little bit older, you will have some of the older homes directly in town that can be a little bit more affordable. And then from there, if you're able to move out a little bit and you get newer builds, the further you move out of right downtown, then the pricing can start to adjust based on the lot sizes and how new the home is. And so 400,000 range, you can get into that detached home. And then once you get into the 500,000 range, then you can get into homes that might have, say, a garage attached or a slightly larger lot. And then once you get just outside, further of the town, then the range really starts to open up because you're going to have people that have built homes on acreage. So you can get homes that are upwards of $1 million, which have nice big lots, or you can get homes in that 600,000-700,000 range. Which are newer homes that have a little bit of space to them, but also are super close to be able to get into town. So really it covers a wide range within this town. Now, once again, only 5,000 people, so there isn't a ton of inventory when it comes to homes. So I always tell people when you're looking to move here, you have to just be open to what's available because there's just not going to be as much. Things do sell here, but you have to be watching the market to see what comes up throughout time. So that's it. That's a short recap of what is happening in Campbellford, Ontario, or Trent Hills, as you might hear some call that area. Hopefully this is giving you a little bit more information. If you want to continue the conversation, because you are thinking about potentially buying in that area, definitely reach out. My information, like I said, is down in the description. I'd love to hear from you, and we can chat some more. Till next time.